Hello everyone and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. I am part 3 of the event tonight. I hope you had fun joining Danica and Miss Danica of Sassy Heart Designs and Danica of Being not Danica, Miss of Being Creative with Miss. Sorry about that. But anyhow, as you're hopping on, please say hello and welcome. We're so glad to have you here. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Alicia and my place is the Chardon Sign Shack. I'm the ambassador for the stencil. I've been that for about 3 years, and this is our second event. We had a fall event, and this is our Christmas event. Hello and good evening, everyone. Let me wipe my comments away real quick on this device over here without knocking things over. So as you're hopping on, I hope you watched the other girls and their projects were just adorable. Hi Danica, how are you? Hi Donna, Diane. Anyhow, the giveaway tonight for 2 people for each live, hi Sue, is going to be two people are going to get 2,000 Crafty Cash reward points a piece. So at the end of this live, we'll draw those. And then anyone who sprinkles, which is to do this, hi Lita, hi Bronwyn, which means to do this, is going to get one of these phenomenal little stencils with your, I'm sorry, I'm all messed up today. So you sprinkle at the end of the live. We're going to pick 2 people. You guys probably know more than me that get 2,000 crafty reward points. So that's for sprinkling. And then if you order any of the stencils, you're going to get this wonderful little freebie in your order. So any of the stencils from the event tonight, hi Julie, how are you, are going to be receiving this order, which is such a cute little freebie there. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm sure you've seen that a couple times, and I'm going to get started right away. Hi, Donna. My stencil we all recreated. Hi, Pete. How are you? So nice to see Pete hop on here. So this is the stencil. We all had a hand in creating our stencils, and this is the one I did. I do have a little gray on it, and I'll show you why. But this is a Rudolph, and so he's the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it has 4 overlays. And this is the size small. So this is the base stencil. And I just love the saying. I found this saying online, and I hadn't seen it before, but I thought it was perfect for Rudolph. And it says, he always knew he was a little different, but he let his light shine regardless of what others said. And I think that's just such a cute little message to everyone. And then this is the other part, and April worked really hard. I wanted something vintage looking in creating Rudolph to look, let me get it lined up here, vintage. So this is the overlay with the trees, and then it's got the snow in his little face and eyes, and we'll get started on that. But it's just adorable, and I absolutely love this little phrase. I thought it was so cute. So I did go ahead and I started. This is a 1x10 and I cut it. The reason I started is because it's on black. So it's a 1x10 that I cut 14.5 inches. I probably could have went a little bit longer. It is a scrap piece I had laying around, so I wanted to use what I had. The stencil is linked above, Nikki. Thank you, Bronwyn. Everybody's got to love Rudolph, right? Let me find the number here. So this is number 10284, and this is the small. And it'll say 3 pieces, which means there's 3 pieces to the stencil. So that tells you how many pieces on it. So, and April did a phenomenal job. And I cut this and I painted it ahead of time. I painted a black front and then white sides and a back. And I'm going to be using another stencil on the side, so that's why I painted them white. But I did go ahead, because this is black, If you're new to stenciling, you don't know, but I'm assuming a lot of you have done this. But if you're new, welcome, and please make sure to follow all of us, Danica and Miss, the Stencil Smith, and join Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith after the live. I did a base coat of gray with this stencil, and we only have 1 hour, and that's why I did it ahead of time, just to save time, because I didn't know with a lot of layers. When I timed myself doing it yesterday or the day before yesterday, it took me an hour. So, and that was with no mishaps, no talking to anybody. That was just straight stenciling. So, and these stencils, all these stencils tonight are going to be on sale for 20% off, and you're going to save an additional 15% with a code. My code is SignShack, SIGNSHACK. Now you can base coat with white. I like to do gray, so I had time ahead of time, so I did it with gray. And I did close the bridges also ahead of time with gray, if you can see, because I want to close the bridges afterwards. I probably will be doing that off camera. So let me just, I base coated it with gray. And the reason you base coat it with gray or white, or you could use like a real light blue, like a blue-gray or something like that, is because black is so dark, or if it's a really dark, like a dark blue, very dark color, you want to base coat it first so the colors will pop. So I'm going to just start with this Deco Arts warm white here. Any white will do. And get it out of my plate. And if you're new to stenciling, you want to offload. That's the trick to not getting bleeds. Everybody still gets bleeds, but you know, it happens, but we try to prevent them. So you want to get the paint on your brush, just on the tip, and you're going to offload. Offloading is the key to no bleeds. I could have done this in white ahead of time, but I really do like base painting in gray. It does make it pop a little bit more. The lines don't show as much. So I'm going to go ahead and just swirl a coat of white here on the letters. And every time I take my brush off, I'm going to be offloading. And if you have not tried the Stencil Smith brushes, they are absolutely amazing, and you're going to want to try those. They are the best brushes out there. They're very smooth. They go on real smooth. They're really similar to a sponge. The ones I use the most are the 1/2 inch, the 3/8, and the 1/4 inch, and then of course those little micro brushes are awesome. Yeah, I really like warm white, Diane. It's a really nice white. And so I'm just lightly swirling this over. Just like so. Oh, I didn't want to. I'm just going to swirl. I actually need to get one of the micro brushes here. I forgot about this, and I'm going to dip it in the white. And this shine I'm going to do in red, but I did do the white parts in white. So see how that little micro brush, you can just get right in there and do that one little line, these little accents on the letters, which are so cute. April did such a nice job on the font, and she did such a nice job on everything. She did tell me it was hard to get vintage looking stencils, but I think she really nailed it. Like, her and Pete come up with the most amazing designs. So I started doing that shine. That shine I'm going to let pop in red, just like his nose. So what are your favorite cartoons when you were younger? Probably my favorite was Rudolph. I just love Rudolph. You know, you waited all year for those wonderful cartoons to come out. They are awesome, aren't they, Patty? You just, I mean, even to round out an order, say you've got an order and you want to round it out to get that free shipping, which is a must. I do that for anything I order, just because I feel like if I don't go up to the free shipping amount, then I'm giving away money. It's something I could have bought. But you could always throw a brush or two in every order and build up your stencil arsenal with the brushes. So we're going to do one coat of that. We didn't do the shine, we just did the accents in white. And I am going to do the deer Rudolph in, can you see this? Is this in the, yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch. Okay, it is in. It didn't look like it was in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it was not in. Oh, the Flintstones. I love the Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones, right? Have a yabba dabba do time. All those wonderful cartoons when we were growing up. Frosty was awesome. Yeah, Frosty the Snowman. I'm not a really good singer, but I do like to sing. I'm already getting paint all over me, girls. And that happens too. So I'm going to get probably, I think I'm going to get another 1/2 inch brush here. And I'm sorry, I used Deco Arts Sable Brown, and I will list the colors after the live. I will write a list of them after the live, the colors I used. I ran out of time beforehand. I don't know. I don't know about you girls. Do you ever seem to have enough time? I never seem to have enough time. And that's even getting groceries delivered. Like I had my groceries delivered today, and I was putting them away between Danica and Mrs. Live, and you know, getting my dad dinner, just everything. It all piles up all day long, right? I had more time when I worked full time than I have now, being semi-retired. So we're just doing Rudolph here in one coat of Sable Brown, and then the little cardinal he's got on his head, I want to do in a pop of red. And the red I did choose to use, I tried a lot of the Deco Arts reds. Where did my red go that I had? And I use Fusion Minerals sometimes, and I used, oh, that's awesome, Denise. Well, welcome. Fort York Red. And this is my very favorite red for 4th of July, really for anything. It's either this or cranberry for Fusion. It's really bright and vibrant. And I did try other reds, like I tried the Santa Red, a couple reds, but nothing popped like that Fort York Red. So I am going to get a smaller brush, probably a 3/8 brush. And my brushes are well loved. I've used them a lot, and I do like to offload onto a shop towel. You could use something like this brown paper. You can use coffee filters. I've seen people use coffee filters. I like to use shop towels. They go a long way. You can use paper towels, just about anything. So we're going to go back and we're going to start doing the white over. I want to do a second coat on this. And the purpose for using the black, or not using the black, but using a white or a gray, and you can use a white to base coat, but a gray doesn't show up as much. Like sometimes it'll show on the sides, like there'll be a little line and you have to take a liner brush or something like that. So we're just gonna simply swirl the second coat on here and over the snowflakes. And I had two sizes of this, and I did a larger one on my sample one. So this one may not take as long, but it does have a lot of overlays. But I had already even decided what colors I was going to use ahead of time. So it's hard to fit things all in an hour. And I did move this down because I'm going to put some embellishments up here. So that's why it's down like this. I may not have explained that really good when we first started. Which, hi Tammy, how are you? So make sure you sprinkle, get that out there. I saw some numbers going out. That's awesome. I sure hope that everybody will join all of us, and if not, watch it on the replay. Mrs. so talented, and Danica is so talented as well. And I didn't get to see the end of Danica's or Miss's. I was prepping for mine at the end of Miss's, but I did see the little shot she showed of the one she did ahead of time, and oh my goodness, that was adorable. And then Danica's, I was getting my dad's dinner at the end of hers, so I missed both of them. So I did not see the end of your project, Danica. I am sorry. It's getting hot in here. I work out in my garage, and it's getting very hot right now. I got my diffuser going with my cinnamon and cloves, so it gets me in the kind of in the mood. I thought about adding a little peppermint to it. All the scents and stuff like that, and the feels. Oh, thank you, Nikki, so much. So again, all these stencils are going to be on sale today and tomorrow. All the ones we used in our video. I am using an extra one that is not on sale, but you can add it. Anything you add extra, if you use my code SignShack, you'll save an additional 15% on things that are regularly priced as well. And it's just such a great deal. What did I use on Rudolph? I used the big brush. And I do put my brushes, if you're new to stenciling. Oh yeah, Vicki. It's the best way to stencil. I love it. It's very relaxing. You don't want to press down really hard, and you want to make sure you've offloaded, you know, all your paint real good on your towel, and then you just start swirling away. And sometimes you can start in the middle and kind of work outward, but swirling is fun, I think. It's very, do you girls think so? I think it's just so therapeutic. Thank you, Becca. I appreciate that. And when you're doing this, you're going to have to kind of hold it down here just a little bit, because the bridge on his leg, like where his legs, I guess his hindquarters or whatever you would call it, connect, is very tiny, and it will be wiggly. And I do like to kind of use my fingers and kind of press down to just give it a little extra oomph there. And we'll do another, you know what I forgot to do? The red on the letters. Of course I did. So that was silly. I do stuff like that all the time, girls. Those of you that have joined me before, you know that. And those of you that haven't, I'm a mess on a good day sometimes. So the shine I'm going to put in red, just like his nose is going to be. I just thought this was I love the animation in it, and Rudolph, and the Abominable Snowman. Who else was there? Oh, the dentist, Herbie the dentist. And it was just such a fun show with such a good message. Santa really kind of scared me, because I thought he was awful mean to Rudolph at first when I was little. And I do believe, I'm not 100% sure, and I'm going to dry this real quickly here just because I forgot to do it and I need to do another coat. But I do believe that Rudolph came out in 1965, which is the year that I was born. It's a really pretty red. Thank you, Mass. That snowman was adorable with that buffalo check. My goodness. And those little gingerbreads. Your background was gorgeous, Danica. So pretty. So let me get another coat of red here on this shine. And I'm just going to swirl away. I probably could have used a smaller brush because I'm going into my white, but I have to do a second coat of that white. So we'll see. If I get more red in that, I'll just go back with a coat of white at the end with my micro brush. The micro brush is great for that. Those little bitty details without taping off. But this is a really pretty, this is one of my favorite reds. I use it a lot for 4th of July too, for all the patriotic stuff. Okay, I am gonna pop, oh no, I gotta do the white, and then we'll pop it off. Just one more thing. I sound like a micro, or not a micro, like a infomercial. Wait a minute, just one more thing. But if you don't know the Stencil Smith, if you're new to the Stencil Smith, they are the best kind of people. They're just absolutely amazing. The company's amazing. All their stencils like this will never be out of stock. It's in multiple sizes. And if you need a different size, if April can make it work without like the image or the words being a little wonky, she will make it work for you. So it's really amazing. The shipping is lightning fast. Everything's made in the United States. They're a husband and wife team based right here in my state of Ohio. And so it's a true family mom and pop business. I know they're really cute, aren't they? April and Pete do the best job designing, and they design their stencils too. They don't hire designers or anything like that. They do their own designs. So, and they just truly are. They're the best people. I've worked with them for 3 years now and gotten to know them, and you can't find better people. So this is the first overlay, and it'll say overlay number 1. And there will even be like a little one if your sticker falls off. I don't know if you can see it. I don't even know. See, but it's there and it's raised just like the numbers on your stencils. You have that every single stencil. And so I am going to actually turn this towards me for a minute and line my cardinal up. My antlers, hold on a minute here. So it's like a puzzle piece and you just need to line them up. And once you get one thing lined up, usually everything else fits. And so this fur on his little belly, it does go out a little bit past that brown that you initially painted on. And I'm going to tape this down. I think I forgot to say, but I do like to tape with painter's tape. And this is one of those things where I'm again going to use, okay, so like right here where the antlers are, if you can see, there's a little bit of brown and then there's black. So a little bit of his head, they go down just a little bit. So you're gonna wanna fill this in with some gray or your white, whatever you base coated with. And the reason being is, let me get my gray brush. Okay, and get some gray paint out here. The reason being, even, no, I didn't quite line his nose up. Hold on a minute. It's gotta go in just a little bit. But you're gonna wanna, okay, that's perfect now. You're gonna want to, even here, because a little bit of brown and a little bit of black. If you don't, you're gonna have two different colors when you stencil over it with the color, if that makes sense. And again, I'll wanna put black on here, or gray on here, and then down here, like all the black parts. So I'm just gonna give everything one little base coat of gray. But if you didn't do it where the black meets the other color, you would have two different looking colors because it's two different colors underneath. I didn't have to base coat that in gray. I don't know why I did. So everything's base coated in gray, even the little cardinal. But you always want to do that when you have two different colors. Like on the gnomes, let me give it a quick dry here. On the gnomes, for instance, the gnomes, lots of times like their hands and their noses, there's a lot of overlap and they're different colors. And I learned that just by doing it. Like if I didn't put some base color down before I put my flesh color down, that the flesh color would look weird. It'd have two different colors underneath it. The color gray I'm using, Dorothy, is Slate Gray from Deco Arts. I use this to base coat a lot. Deco Arts Americana Slate Gray. And if I miss any questions, I'm so sorry. Sometimes the comments go by really quick. But just please ask me. You can message me anytime, and I will certainly get back to you as quickly as I can. So I'm going to use this as Deco Arts Espresso, so it's a little bit darker brown, and your paints always dry darker than your then they come out. So it's going to be a little bit darker than that. They just always do. And I'm going to get a smaller brush, I think, for that. And I'm going to make his antlers and his little hoofs. I can't make his hoofs black because it's on a black background. So those are the things you have to think about, like when you're doing this. Like you might make it black, but it's not going to work as black. It's not going to show up very well. So I'm going to give him some dark brown hoofs. And I'm offloading every time I pick up paint. And then this part is going to be white here. His little furry chest is so cute. This right here, is that the beak? No, the beak is just, I colored it red, and I'll show you when it's done. You could go back and make it orange if you wanted, and I could do that if we have time, but I just made the whole bird red. This is like the little mask, you know, the black mask it has on. So once you like line up the hoofs and everything else, the antlers, it kind of falls into place. So like I said, it's like a puzzle. And so I'm going to just color in his cute little chest and face there and his spots. Yeah, it's got to be a he. Only the guys get antlers, I think. I don't know. I don't know that much about deers. Yeah, the mask. It's the mask on the face. And then this is Holly Green, which is a real pretty, I love my Stencil Smith brush arsenal too. And I can't say it enough. And I know if Judy's still on here, Bonnie, they will all tell you, all the girls that have been using the Stencil Smith brushes, they're so dense, and they're real, they're just the most wonderful brushes. They're real soft. They go on similar to a sponge, but without all the work of a sponge. I tried sponging like twice, and I did not care for it. And now actually that I use the sticky boards to do my fabric painting, I haven't used them in years. I know some people use them, and I believe Miss does, and I can't do it. But these go on very similar to what a sponge would do, and much faster. My friend Julie, if she's still on, I know the first time she ever used brushes, she had sponged for years, and she ordered some brushes, and I'm just going to give it oh, I forgot my black. I got to do my little pop of black here. So this is going to be lamp black. And I'll just put a little bit out on my, maybe. And this is all Deco Arts or Fusion paint. It's got a little piece of dried paint blocking it. And I just need a real little, I think I'll just get a little micro brush for that. See how little bitty the micro brushes are? They're just amazing. Those are 1/8 inch. And let me get that black in there. So that's his little black mask. He's like a little bandit. See, there's Julie. It's a true story, but she's like, what have I been doing my entire life? I think I forgot to finish the story. I read a comment or something. The Stencil Smith are the best, yes. You just ordered yours? That's awesome, Angela. You will not be disappointed. The cleaner, yes, I actually have it right here on my table. I highly recommend put this cleaner and this scrubby, see if I can get it without knocking over my Jenga pile of stuff here. So this is, oh, thank you. Yeah, I love my brush drawer too. My sister got me organized. I'm not nearly as organized. Do you like the brushes now, Patty? I hope so. But this is the brush cleaner. You can order it on the Stencil Smith. It's Masters Brush Cleaner, and it works really well. I rinse my brush. What I do is I rinse my brush underwater like that and kind of rub it in my heart scrubby. You can get this from it too. And then I get my little thing, and so I take some of the paint off, and then I dip it in there, and then I just do it on my heart scrubby underwater till it runs clean. And this cleaner, it conditions your brush, it cleans them really good. And the heart scrubby, yes, they work amazing holding the fabric in place. Sweatshirts, it's amazing, Chris. It's really, really nice. So I'm gonna do that little bit of black there on his mask. Okay, we got a half hour. I feel like I'm talking really fast because I don't want to run out of time. I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be good. And we appreciate you so much joining us. It's such an awesome thing for you to join us and be a part of this event. We really appreciate it. I believe we're going to have one probably in the spring and summer. Like, we're going to try and do it like as a quarterly thing. So it's very fun. It can be a little nerve-wracking trying to pick out like what you want to do. And none of us know ahead of time like what the other person is doing, except for April. April knows. And I'm assuming Pete knows too. So we did that white again, and we're going to do another coat of that espresso, which I just got to find my brush. I've got so, and when you're stenciling, I don't know if I said this before, I use these. You can buy them on Amazon. Let me see if I can find them really quick. And they are like the sticky boards. And they're cutting mats, I think. This is the strong grip, and you put it between like your sweatshirt or t-shirt, and it just holds it in place. And they get fuzzy, but they wash off perfectly, and you can use them again. It's a game changer, because I used to hate doing like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt because it moved, and I hated using the sponges, and I couldn't use my brushes. But those sticky boards changed all that. Now I can use my brushes and just swirl away. And unless it's like a really, really big area, you might want to like stipple a little bit with your brush. So we're giving everything 2 coats here. Just like so. And we're going to peel it off. And so now we've got Rudolph going with his little, see how the mask just fell into place there on the bird. Now you could go in and you could change that little beak to orange if it really bothered you. It's not really bothering me, but you can. That's awesome, Dorothy. We're so glad to hear that. Let me make sure I got this back in the, okay, so we have one more piece, and please, I'm really good for losing my pieces too. Like, where did I put that? But, so this is going to be our last 2, 3, and 4, and it'll tell you, maybe you can see it better. I don't think you could see it earlier, but I hope you can see, because if you're new, I do want you to see. So all of your stencils will have the number. Oh, let me go the right way. You can see the number there. See that number? It'll have the number of the stencil. It's a small, and it'll say, like this says number 10284, small, and it's 3 pieces. That means there's 3 pieces to this stencil. If they fall apart, you can put them all together. And then when your stickers come off, which they will, there will also be a number. You can see that right next. There we go. Almost had it. Number 2. So it'll be right next to the sticker. So that's always going to be on there. Yes, Deco Art's So Soft Fabric Paint. You don't have to heat sit. I move mine around. I move it around when I do that, Chris, when it's not quite big enough. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. Okay, so I sent April the phrase, and I sent her a couple of like things I saw on the internet. Like, I am not a designer, but like what I kind of wanted Rudolph to look like. So we're going to do overlay number 2, and you're going to want to line it up like you can see the nose where it lines up. And then once you get your nose lined up, because it fits right in there, everything else is going to line up. So we popped our nose in the puzzle piece, and then everything else lines up really nice. Thank you, Mary Lou. Oh, hi, I didn't know you were on. I know you were on earlier. Let me make sure. There, that might be helpful. If I angle it down just a little bit more, you're going to see some of my mess back here, but oh well. So we're going to take some gray again, and you don't have to do it on the tree. The brown is kind of dark. But you're going to want to definitely do it on the black, because you want that to pop, and those colors just won't pop on that black. The first black sign I ever did, it was a welcome sign, and it had a big heart in the place of the O, and I stenciled and stenciled and stenciled red. It felt like forever till I finally got it red, and then I saw a video somewhere, and they're like, oh. And so I'm just going where the eyelashes are and the nose. And you can just go over the whole thing if you want, because now I just am. So you're going to put that on. You want to give it a quick dry. You always want to be mindful when you're drawing. I haven't seen it in stores, Diane, but I have. Oh, thank you, Mary Lou. That's so sweet. Did you get your snow globe done? I don't know, because we shut down for the holidays. But you always want to be mindful when you're using your heat gun. Move it around. Don't hold it in one place. You will warp your stencil, but you can dry over your stencil. It's not a problem. And if you're new to stenciling, I like to use Dawn Power Wash, and I just spray a little bit on my stencils, let it set for like a minute, and then I take a soft brush and just wash it. It washes off really well. So I'm going to get my white here, and again, offload. And it's just going to be, I think that's going to be all black. I have to look at my other one. So we're going to put some white, and you could also do, we did raised stenciling a couple weeks ago, and it was so fun. You could also do some raised stenciling on the snow if you wanted, with either some spackling or some of the fusion mineral stuff that I used, anything like that, and it would raise it, or some snow tech you could put in there and just lift it straight up, and it would look super cute. Now for the ears, I did do this bubble gum, or no, it's not bubble gum, it's cotton candy. So it's cotton, Deco Arts cotton candy. Oh no, you got a snowstorm. That's all it's been doing here since Thanksgiving. It has snowed and snowed and snowed. I know we've got it probably at least 1.5 feet. At least. It was snowing off and on all day today. I'm like, I'm already ready for this to be over, the snow season. So this is that bubblegum pink. And then I'm going to take black and do, well, I got my red brush. Let me see where my red's at. That's pink. It's easy to get your brushes mixed up. And I think I did say, or I started to say several times, put your brushes in a baggie when you're stenciling with a wet wipe. It helps keep them nice while you're stenciling so they don't dry out. I think this is my red one. Let me see. Yep, that's my red one. So I'm going to take my red and, of course, give Rudolph that poppin' red nose right there. And then his mouth, I toyed with a lot of different ideas, and I settled on for his mouth and his eye color, and it turned out looking really, really cute. But this deep burgundy with Deco Arts, and it turned out really, really nice. So I'm going to get a little bit of deep burgundy out. And I'll get a little, I'm going to get a micro brush because the eyeball, I think, the little eye color. So again, I'm working on limited space here. So you can have all your supplies all over. I never recommend, like having your paint on top of your thing or your shop rag or anything like that. So this is like a deeper red. It's a burgundy. And then I'm going to do, and these eyelashes really didn't show up too well on this black, but there's not much you can do about that because it's a black background. I could use my graphite and do the eyelashes later if I wanted, I think. So I'm going to get my black and I'm going to do my entire eye there in black. Yeah, ray stenciling is so fun. I don't have the time to do that today, but there is a video. Oh, which if you don't know, we have lives every Tuesday for the Stencil Smith. Make sure to join us. Oh, it makes it so much easier, Mary Lou. You don't have to tape everything off. And then you've got the little brushes that are awesome. Thank you, Carol. So I'm just going to do a little quick little dry there. You don't have to dry it long because you're using such a thin amount of paint. It's not a super thick amount of paint. And so let's get this white here again. And we're doing, okay, I see it's almost 8:45. So we got the white there, and let's do those little pink ears again. I thought that color looked really pretty and soft for the ear area. This bubble gum. And then again, we'll do the red for the nose. Whoop. And I'm making the best of it. I should have used a smaller brush for the red, for the shine, and for the red nose, but I didn't. Hindsight's 20/20. And again, I'm going to go into that mouth area and then find my black and do his eyes, those eyelashes and those eyelashes there. And I actually might put this back over and jab the eyelashes in some graphite when we're close to done, which is a little bit lighter black. So they do show up. They do show up a little bit because they're lined in white, but how cute is he so far? Okay, so that's overlay number 2, and let's give it a nice, and you could do all kinds of shading. I love this font. April did such a beautiful job on the font. And she was very worried about the eyes, but the eyes, I think, turned out just perfection. They turned out really, really cute. And you just want to make sure everything's dry underneath it. You will get, like if you're stenciling on wet paint, you just move the paint around. It just doesn't work well. So the overlay number 3 is this little half moon with the 2 dots. And I got to look at them here so I line it up right. Okay. So you're going to want to put it down a bit, and I'll show you when it's done. Straighten it up a little bit. So you want to come down just a bit. And I'll show you, I don't know if you can see through the stencil. That's what's great about these stencils, the Mylar. See where I've got that kind of place there? You can see the black behind it. That's about where you want it placed. No, but I did make one. The one I made is bigger, and it's going to be a garden flag. I'm going to put it out front. I'll show you that one as well. So that one we're going to want to do white on. You know how you dot the I sometimes, or not, you dot the I, but you dot the I to give it a little sparkle. April's already included that in there. So I've done that once, and again, we're going to give it a quick little dry. But she's already added the little dots for you to make it easier. And let's see, this one's going a little bit quicker, I think, than the sample one I did because it's a little bit smaller too. Plus, I did do that pre-coat of gray before. I hope you understand why I did that. So we can lift this up. I've done 2 coats of that. I don't know why I got a little bit of... There we go. And then this color here is going to be, I'm going to make this deep burgundy color the color of his eyes, and it looks really pretty. And so that last overlay, which is going to be number 4, is going to be just that last little slice there. And again, I'm going to turn it this way for a minute. And it'll fit again in there just like a puzzle. And I'm going to coat that with just a little white first, just because it's on black and it's going to be the same thing. White or gray you want to coat it with. If you don't on that black, that color's not going to pop. So let's do a little bit of the color there. I just love the saying. I just think it's just such a, you know, like all the, like in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And it took me a long time till I was older. You know, when you're younger, sometimes you don't know, you know, and you get much more confident as you get older. And it's just one of those things, you let your light shine however you want it to shine. As long as you're not harming anybody, you let it shine. Just like Rudolph did. Oh, April did such a phenomenal job. And so I'm going to do a second coat there. And we're going to pull this off, and it just turned out so darling. I think I am going to go over, I'm going to try the graphite on the little, see how his eyelashes don't really, they show up on the white, but they're not showing up so much above the nose. So I think I'm going to take, I have a color, it's called graphite. Let me just find it here. It's soft black. I don't like that one because that's kind of purpley. So graphite's kind of like a really dark gray. So I think I'm going to grab this and just take a little bit of that. Graphite's a really pretty color to use on black for a real soft background because it's like a dark gray, really dark gray. And I'm going to put his little eyelashes back on him. Come on. Here we go. Let me look at it. And don't forget that all these stencils are on sale today. And we're going to pick, I don't know why. There we go, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get my little micro brush, and I don't know if this is really gonna make any difference, but see, it's a little bit lighter than this black. And I'm just gonna, the tips of his eyelashes there, I'm gonna run them over it and hope that it kind of makes them show up a little bit better. It does a little bit, so you can kind of see his eyelashes a little bit. Now, if that was on a white background, I mean, it's not the biggest deal. A garden flag is really easy to do. I have a bunch of videos on them, and so that lightened it up just a little bit on his eyelashes. So we could do a lot of, you could do a lot of shading to him. We do not have time. What I do want to do is I want to take some white, and I do want to get, is that white on this little, I do have a little. So I've got this little micro brush, and I've got white on it, and I'm going to offload it really, really good here. And how much time do we have? We have 10 minutes left. Okay, and I'll show you how to close. I don't know if anybody closed bridges on theirs. I'll just show maybe a line or two. And what I did was I just took the brush, I offloaded really good in the white, and I kind of went around his nose. Okay. Just kind of like it's glowing, so it gives it just a little. See how his nose is glowing now a little bit there? Just go around his nose with the little bit of white, but make sure you offload it. And if you don't like it, you can go back over it with your black, or you can wipe it off with a wet wipe. You could use a little bit of yellow if you wanted. I just already have white on this brush. And it just makes it. And another thing, I'm going to put some 3D glossy effects on it. But up here at the top, let me close a couple bridges. No, I'm not going to close bridges. I'll do that afterwards because we still have to pull the winners, I think. Let me do this top line of bridges. So if nobody's closed bridges, this is what I like to do. Now you see I already did it in gray underneath, and I'll just do this top line here because I'm going to put my embellishments here. But I closed them in gray because I did the background in gray. So when you're closing bridges, I again use my Stencil Smith brushes. This is a 0. I like to wet it just a little bit and dip it in the white paint so it flows a little bit. And I always go away from me, towards me. Because if you don't, if you go this way, you end up putting your arm down in it. And I've done it before, that's how I know. It's not like I'm some genius. I have just done silly things before, and I try to prevent you. So you just want to simply close the little bridges, and my white is a little, from sitting there, white is the hardest bridge to close. It shows the most, and you just want to close those little bridges where that Mylar holds it together. You don't have to do this. And just a little bit of water. You don't want it wet like a watercolor or anything, but just a titch of water on your brush makes the paint flow a little better. And you just close them. Just like so. And if I use like the gray, like I said underneath there, I'm always going to use the gray to close the bridges, whatever color I'm putting over it. And it doesn't take that long. Like I said, you do not have to close them. I didn't for a long time. April's the one who encouraged me to close them. And I started doing it, and now 90% of the time I close them. And so just like that, you closed them really quickly. It does make a difference. So I'm just gonna give some fine line markers. What kind do you use? I've tried markers before, but they didn't always cover the way I wanted to. So that's just one instance of closing your bridges. And I'm gonna put my little embellishments. Now all these embellishments I got at the Dollar Tree, or not the Dollar Tree. Did not get them at the Dollar Tree. I got them at Hobby Lobby. Not that there's anything wrong with the Dollar Tree. I got these at Hobby Lobby last year. I'm sure they have the same embellishments. So what I wanted to do was I took this piece of ribbon and just cut it to wrap it around the top like this. And I just pulled it real tight. Oh, you know what I forgot to show you? Oh my goodness. We're gonna be out of time. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't waste my time with the, Okay, I forgot my other stencil. This one is not on sale. We can be pulling winners here in a couple minutes, but I'm gonna show you. This is number 7897. I'll show you on one edge, and I'll show you how it looks on my other one. But I have these candy canes, and I made candy cane sides. So I'm gonna get my red paint, a little bit more red paint out, and I'm gonna have to do both sides actually. I guess I can just show you. Oh, I'm so conflicted. Okay, let's just show you one side real quick, but I will have to do both of them to put my embellishments on. So I've got my red, and I'm gonna offload, and I'm gonna turn it this way. And I like to do this on a lot of things, and I'm kind of just going in the center here, and I'm holding it down. And I'm not gonna go down to this one. I'm gonna just kind of, I usually measure, but now I'm in a hurry because I'm gonna run out of time. And I'm just doing these cute little candy cane sides. And I'm holding it in place. I didn't tape it or anything. And so we've got that cute little candy cane, and I'm just gonna bring it down and get a little bit more, and I'll just show you the embellishments. I guess I won't be able to put them on until after the live. I'm sorry about that, girls. I probably spent too much time. Okay, so I've lined this up, and if you line it up, you're just gonna go down like that. And then, oh, I did do that, didn't I? Okay. And then hopefully if you've done it fairly in the middle, you'll have the same amount on the bottom as you do on the top, if that makes sense in the design. I didn't measure, I just kind of eyeballed it. So see how cute that is with the candy cane side? Look at that. And I'm gonna do this one on this side. So let me do this real quick. We'll start pulling the names. Don't forget the stencils are on sale today and tomorrow. 20% off. If you use my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK, you can save an additional, I'll just go down because I can, 15% and on your order. So you'll be getting, it's a really great deal, you'll be getting 35%. You're going to get that free stencil, that wonderful stencil that April made of embellishments. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm getting in a hurry. Okay, so let's go up here and line those up. Get a little bit more paint. You're going to be getting those free embellishments with any order. And then we're going to be drawing 2 Crafty Reward people here right now. And I am going to put it on the top as well, but I haven't done it yet. So the candy cane, I think, really looks cute. Look at how cute that looks on the edges. So let's just pop my embellishment on here real quick while April is pulling the winners. And I just wrap this around. And I am just going to staple this really quickly with a staple gun. And then flip it over. The candy cane, yes, thank you so much. Thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate it so much. It is stencil number 7897, and I will list it with a link above after the live, and it's a size small. And then this is just a pick that I got from Hobby Lobby that I'm going to lay like this on it with a little bow on it. So that's what it's going to look like with the embellishments and the sides and everything. But I thought that was super cute. I love this stencil. I think it has just the most awesome meaning. Thank you so much. I don't know if April has picked the 2,000 point winners. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it. Make sure to join us on Tuesday for another fun live at 4 p.m. EST. I had a great night. If you're not following me, Danica, or the Stencil Smith, or Miss, Being Creative with Miss, please make sure to follow them after the live. I know they'd appreciate it. I know I'd appreciate it. April spinning the wheel. Sorry, I almost forgot the candy canes, guys. Oh, and I also forgot to put the, if you put the glossy effects on it, which is this, the glossy accents on his nose, you're going to get a little shiny nose just like that. See how that red shines? So that's the flag I made. And that's the candy canes on the top. This one is going to hang outside. I've pinked back too. I haven't done that yet. Haven't got around to that. But so use this. This is glossy accents. You can get it Hobby Lobby, and you just put a dab on. But it's really, it makes anything like that really glow and shine. So thank you. Did we pull them? Did I miss? Congratulations. I think I missed. Let's see, did we, winners are, there we go. Winners are Ruth McCaws, Karen, and Judy Rogers. Congratulations to both of you for being winners. Email or message April at the Stencil Smith, and you can use that for $20 off your order, which is amazing. And everything you order will be sent with this cute little stencil. So thank you, Danica. Thank you, Miss, for sharing this night with me. And most of all, thank you, April and Pete, for hosting us. Excuse me. We appreciate it. And everyone have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you guys on Tuesday.